What's up, Jimmy?
How you doing, brother?
Good, man.
Well, this is going to be a good and bad
Hold on,
kind of.
hold on. Yeah, it's already bad. I
It's
see your
beautiful.
ugly shirt
You
that
know
you
why I
wear.
wore this
Oh
today?
my gosh, let's hear it. Let's hear it. Why?
In memory of Lou Holtz.
Oh, yeah. That's good.
Because when he took over, I don't, for Jerry Fouts, that program was crap.
Yeah.
A national prominent program was crap.
Mm,
And he came back and won a national championship with them.
that's a pretty big deal.
And there's a story that one of the players told where it was raining in South Bend at practice, right?
Yeah.
And the wind's blowing, and so they're kicking punts, and the guys aren't catching it.
Right.
Lou Holtz was like, "What the hell's the problem here? You can't catch a punt." So he went out to catch a punt. He was all over the place. But the thing is that he would always challenge,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And he's a lot like Marcus Freeman.
Uh,
It's a philosophy thing with them. It's not like we're the biggest, we're the strongest. It's philosophy. What do you want to create in that locker room,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. That's good.
And one thing, this is my Notre Dame rep. So I heard Marcus today, and what their theme for this year is leave no doubt,
Mm,
because they didn't get to the playoffs.
yeah.
And he says we can blame everybody. It's easy to blame. You didn't do this. You didn't vote. Blah blah blah. He goes, we did not leave any. We didn't leave any questions unanswered. There were questions unanswered.
Mm-hmm.
And you think about that, that's pretty cool with life. I mean,
Yeah.
because Marcus has some shit, man. I
Yeah.
mean, that guy is smart. If I was young and steadily and played football, that's where I would go.
Yeah.
But anyway, so this is off to Lou Holtz, and I wish him and his family the best.
That's awesome. Okay, I'm sorry for giving you crap.
Yeah.
Way to make me feel bad
How
now.
do you feel?
Yeah,
Huh?
make
What about
me
a
feel
Barry
bad.
Switzer
Yeah.
guy?
Yeah, it'd be a
And
problem.
I made a crack
It'd
about
be
your
it'd be
shirt.
issues.
Yeah, here we go. See?
It'd be issues.
So I want to talk about a couple of things today.
Okay.
We're going to talk about rates,
Okay.
but then we're going to talk about geopolitical stuff.
Okay. Sounds good.
So we'll do rates a little bit later.
Okay. Yeah, so geopolitical, you're talking about my gas, right? And how I'm having to pay $4.55 for some premium to put in the Passat.
Dude, it's still going up.
Like,
Groceries are going up because everything is transported through fossil fuel,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And you don't
That
think the
makes
companies
sense.
are going to take that hit,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I'm a history guy, right? And one thing about where I guess this atmosphere is different in this country is that if you say anything negative about the current administration, then you're either a Democrat, you're a loser, or you're a liar, right? Which makes no sense because it's freedom of speech, right? Because that same party did the same crap to Biden when he was in office. So to come out and I understand defending your man,
Yeah.
but you can't say shit on one hand and then get upset when they fire back at you. And the reason I bring this up is because I'm a history guy, right? And with everything going on in Iran, everybody looks at it, and the news also.
Yeah.
When the Shah of not the Shah of Iran, the head leader for the Muslim people in Iran, took over our embassy, right, and took hostages, and everybody's pissed about that. So that's the lens that everybody looks at. Now, I'm not defending what Iran does a lot of the time. That's not my point. What I want is, I want people to look at stuff through a bigger lens, right? Because every country whitewashes their history, right? Every country. But I heard something yesterday in Germany. They actually teach the Holocaust, not a chapter, but they actually teach the Holocaust because they never want to go back that way again.
You know what's really interesting about Germany is I was in Germany quite a bit. Went to Frankfurt, went to Berlin, went to Cologne, travels and stuff like that. And when we were in Berlin, what was interesting to me is in front of the storefronts, there would be these like stones, like shiny stone and I don't know if it was gold or bronze or what it was, but it was basically a public apology because that was owned by a Jew.
Oh,
And
dude, that's right on.
so what happened was the government like decided, oh, we're gonna make this a deal. It's
Right.
not just like we're gonna sweep it under the rug or
We're
whatever.
gonna
They
we're gonna own
they
it.
truly apologized and they truly like tried to make things right with the people. And that was powerful to me whenever I saw that and I like asked about it and I was like, what is all this about? And was told that. I was like, whoa.
And,
So,
Germany's biggest fear right now is having the far right coming up again.
mhm.
That's their biggest fear because they have seen it,
Mm-hmm.
right? Their grandparents, great grandparents that saw what was going
Mm-hmm.
on and what happened. But anyway, back to Iran. So before I get a bunch of hate because I'm talking about Iran,
You're
and
gonna get hate anyways,
I
Jimmy. Come
know,
on.
but if you go look at the history of Iran,
Mm-hmm.
it actually has a beautiful history, right?
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of the problems that started in the Middle East started in World War One
Mm-hmm.
because the Allies wanted to get the Muslims, because Germany was down there,
Mm-hmm.
to fight for them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the Muslims come and they took all that. Well, they're supposed to get all that land back, and British said no. Britain said no. Okay, so that's strike one. And who was in charge before the our embassy got taken over in Tehran? Shah of Iran.
Okay.
He was one of the bloodiest people to his people. He killed them. He murdered them.
Mm-hmm.
If you spoke out against him, he would kill you and all your family.
Mm-hmm.
Guess who backed him? United States.
Mm-hmm.
Why do we back him? Oil.
Yeah. Oil in a hub for war
Yeah.
and anything else.
So when you look at that bigger lens, and we could, well, I mean, and I'm not like saying, oh, we did everything wrong, but we did it for the wrong reasons,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
We wanted oil. We put the Shah in.
Mm-hmm.
He was our puppet. And then when the people finally had enough, boom. So that's just kind of a bigger lens of kind of what's going on. But I wish, because like I said, I love history. I wish we get all the facts on a lot of stuff. Because there's is it Netflix? Netflix, yeah. It talks about the Cold War, the Vietnam War. Papers have been released,
Mm-hmm.
and you're looking at that going, oh my God, we could have gotten out of the Vietnam War a lot earlier, but for political reasons we didn't.
Mm-hmm. Well, and so like I feel like it's kind of known, right, that whenever war happens, it is a moneymaker.
It is.
It's a money printing machine, right? One, you see the cost of goods go up. Everybody's paying more for gas and food and all of
Yep,
this,
exactly.
right? But then also like the actual reason for war, is a political game.
It
It's
is.
dollars, it's money, it's oil, it's whatever it is. And it's all to like increase whatever country is winning, right?
Right.
And so what really why do the people have to fit the bill? I guess is what.
So we got more Marines going
Yeah.
over here that
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
existed.
yeah, 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 yeah.
And Trump's kind of backpedaling on his stuff, which he should, because he has pissed off all our allies.
Mm.
He started this, but he wants their help now, and they're saying bullshit. You didn't even come to us to tell us you're going to do this. Except Israel knew, right? And so he has put himself in a corner, right? Because I mean, this is my opinion. I don't have any facts to prove it, but I think if he feels like he walks away, he loses face. And he doesn't like to lose face. No president, no leader ever likes to lose faith, right? Face. So The next week is going to be really intense
Mm-hmm.
because if the U.S. does start de-escalating, Israel's going to keep it up.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear all these stories about, well, Israel didn't talk to us, we didn't talk to Israel. They talk every day,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So when I look at things all the time, I think, like I said before, we look at the current situation and we judge everything off that current situation.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say that I made a mistake and hit a pedestrian in my car. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe people don't look like, well, he was dodging a dog or something like that, right? They look at
Mm-hmm.
that particular instant,
You hit him.
and there's the judge.
Right.
There's the judgment, But I think one thing I do like about our country is that we have freedom of speech
Mm-hmm.
to a point.
Mm-hmm.
To a point. Because you shouldn't threaten to shut down TV stations and comics and all that other stuff because that goes back to the early 30s. So I just want people to kind of read,
Mm-hmm.
right? And don't read from one source. I tell my dad this all the time. He goes, why do you know so much about this and that? I said, Dad, I read.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what do you read? I said, I read a bunch of sources. I don't read anything far right. I don't read anything far left.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going more of an independent
Mm-hmm.
poll,
Mm-hmm.
independent source. I'm sorry, not poll. So, and that has kind of been running through my head these last couple of days because it is scary.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, first there was going to be no boots on the ground, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now we might be having boots on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And man, I don't want our military there.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you ask the majority of Americans, they say, hell no.
Mm-hmm.
We've had enough war.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, so.
But you gotta think too, like something's gonna happen no matter what.
Right. But I think if something happens,
Mm-hmm.
what's our response based off of? Right? Because let's
Mm-hmm.
go back to
Yeah.
George W. Bush
Mm-hmm.
or Bush Jr.
Mm-hmm.
Weapons of mass destruction, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was all over the news.
Yeah.
And they knew there were no weapons of mass destruction. Look what that chaos did to our soldiers,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because of political reasons. There wasn't a reason. We had Kuwait, right? Because Kuwait's one of our allies, and this is with Bush Senior, and I read a thing that Obama, no, not Obama, I'm sorry, Bin Laden said, "Do not cross the Kuwaiti line into Iraq."
Mm-hmm.
We did because of them. That's holy ground,
Mm-hmm.
and we're heathens,
Mm-hmm.
right? We're Christian heathens,
Mm-hmm.
but we did anyway because we had to take care of Iraq.
Mm-hmm.
So I just asked the question: what if we would have just saved Kuwait and then walked away?
Mm-hmm.
Because we're not responsible for what other leaders do in their country.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also not because we always throw the flag of democracy.
Mm-hmm.
We went in there because democracy. We went in there because of this.
Mm-hmm.
They never say we went in there because we just hate those fuckers that are in charge. Oh, we better bleep that. You know what I mean? So it's this geopolitical thing goes back hundreds of years.
Yeah.
And I wish people would just sit back and say, okay, really, what's the cause of this? Because we really don't know why we went into Iran.
Yeah.
Have you heard? I have not heard.
I don't know too much of any of the real reasons why we're doing any of it, really.
Right.
Like, I think there is some things that have upset some folks, and so, but I think ultimately, like, I think there's so much going on there that that's why I bring up something's gonna happen
Oh yeah, because
eventually.
it's spreading.
Right. And
Right.
so I think like stuff has to calm down or else.
That like Lebanon's in trouble now too because
Mm,
you got that terrorist group there.
yeah.
But who always gets hurt are the civilians, right?
Yeah.
So there's 1 million displaced civilians in Lebanon, and we don't see that because one thing that makes our country so protective are two oceans
Mm-hmm.
that
Yeah.
protect us,
Yeah.
right? Nobody can just cross the line.
Mm-hmm.
Um, unless Canada's really stays mad at us, then they might, but that's a whole nother issue. But I just think that, and I took this and I thought about, okay, what about in everyday life, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what's the saying that people ignore the most? Don't judge a book by its cover,
Mm-hmm.
right? You haven't walked in their shoes, right?
Right. Yeah, I mean we've even talked about this,
Yeah,
like just with like, people dogging on the homeless, oh they should just get a job or whatever, and not actually going and actually hearing their story and actually talking to them,
right,
give them dignity. It's just a quick judge. And the same thing is true with everything else.
right.
Yeah.
Because you don't. It's not like if you are a thinker
Mm-hmm.
or you just like looking at history stuff, it's not like you just pick up one part of it and really dig into that.
Mm-hmm.
You dig into everything.
Mm-hmm.
So when you do that on your interests like that, you're going to do that in work. You're going to do
Mm-hmm.
that in your relationships. You're going to dig in and find out, you know, and it just, it's just the fact that we're in this mess again in the Middle East,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
They should, we are not the world's police,
Mm-hmm.
but we always have been. Has it been for democracy reasons? Yeah, we wave that flag a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it is like Korea,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So yeah, so that's just kind of what is on my mind this the last couple of days
Yeah.
about just I'm wanting people to dig more, no matter
Yeah.
if it's even about oil prices, you know.
Well, oil or food, like why is it affecting us? Why do we have to fit the bill, and finding out the real reason as to why, you know, it's they need support. They need dollars to be able to do and pull off whatever it is that the agenda is to try and pull off.
Boy, I didn't know this, but I guess in the United States we run off two oil blends, the summer blend and the winter blend,
Mhm.
right? And the winter blend is mostly our stuff, right?
Mhm.
But the summer blend comes from Middle East.
Mhm.
So that's the reason why everything's jacked up and
Mhm.
everything's like they look at the futures, right?
Mhm.
And they see where it's going. So they're going to jack up to start minimizing their losses,
Mhm.
right? If they waited till the very last minute, they'd have all these losses.
Mhm.
But I'm thinking, because I don't know anything about oil, but
Mhm.
that's something else to look into.
Yeah.
I don't know if we do summer blend here in the United
Mhm.
States. Maybe not enough.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why we import. I'm not sure.
Well, from what I understand too, is like we want to reserve as much oil as we possibly can here. Under Texas, tons of barrels of oil, right?
Right.
Like, and we want to preserve as much as of our oil as possible. And so, from what I understand, we leverage other countries'
Right.
oil
Exactly.
and buy and use their oil
Hmm.
so that we can preserve our oil. But also, I know we sell our oil too
Right.
to other countries, and so it's interesting to like why doesn't each country just use its own oil like it uses its own water?
I think one is income for the country.
Yeah.
I think two, you always and so I'm going to pause for a minute.
Yeah.
I'm going to jump into Canada.
Okay.
So Prime Minister Carney
Yeah.
made a speech at DARCO, the economic forum where all
Mhm.
the major powers meet. So I can read, but I don't really retain the words a lot. Um, and he basically said, if you are a middle country like Germany, like Denmark, like all
Mhm.
those countries, he says you might not have a seat at the table,
Mhm.
meaning you're not going to be around China, you're not going to be around United States,
Mhm.
all this stuff. And so what he did is he basically because Canada still has high tariffs, right?
Mm-hmm.
We put high tariffs on Canadian stuff, which we pay for.
Mm-hmm.
But Trump wanted to, simmer things down and, take off because Canada fired back with tariffs.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, take down your tariffs, but we kept ours up.
Mm-hmm.
And Carney said, hell no.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just find other pathways.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what countries are doing. This is the other effect of how our actions as a country
Mm-hmm.
can directly, even though our allies are not in the mix per se, it can still affect them.
Yeah, for sure.
Because they're trying to find all these other ways that we're to sell their lumber, making all these deals with other countries to trade.
And I think what it boils down to is our problems are not our allies' problems.
Right.
And just like their problems are not
not
our
our
problems. And so it becomes a assumption and oh, well, they'll figure it out. And, oh, well, we'll figure it out.
I think a lot of times, too, is that these relationships we've had, basically since World War I, they've grown and we've had our ups and downs with them. But when you treat one of your allies very badly, in this day and age, they say, screw it. Germany is pumping up their defense budget like nobody's business because they realized that, we may not have the United States. And what's happening is now you have Denmark and you have Norway and you have Canada, the Arctic region. They're becoming very close allies. And basically Carney said, we don't need you, United States. I mean, that's huge because how long have they've been our closest and one of our strongest allies. And we take for granted that they're never going to walk, no matter what we do.
Well, and I think for so long, the U.S. dollar.
Oh, okay. This is a huge one.
This is kind of, and I'm going to stir the pot a little bit.
Yeah, we are stirring it.
Like the U.S. dollar forever, it has always been the currency.
Since after World War II.
And so with it not being worth jack diddly, I mean, we're done producing pennies, right? Like,
well, part of it is too, is that when our currency uses international currency, right? That is the gold star.
Yeah.
That gives us great economic power, right? That other countries will never have.
Right.
Like Germany, France, So that gives us, and people don't realize how much us having the U.S. dollar, how much that gives us as far as financial power.
Yeah.
So Iran said, and I don't know what the Chinese coin is, what their dollars
The
called.
yen?
No, it's not the yen. I think that's Japanese. People just look it up and just say, oh yeah, Jimmy talked about the Chinese. But what Iran did is said, they took China's money, right? Everything on oil is in dollars. And now you have, because China wants to be the international currency bad.
Right.
So now they're dipping their toes into this by Iran, selling oil. So it was interesting. The story said, what would happen if we had two international
major currencies? Yeah.
The U.S. dollar and then the Chinese dollar.
Well, I think ultimately that's what's going to start war, like real war.
Yeah.
You heard it here first. I think because the currency to buy goods, to live, to pay bills, to do whatever it is that we do is huge.
Right.
And I think the resolve is going to be crypto.
Okay,
That's what I
I'm
think.
gonna bounce back on
Yeah,
that.
and that's fine. Like I would love to have a
See, they're trying to
conversation around
push
that.
crypto.
Yeah,
The problem with crypto is there's nothing behind it.
yeah.
Skepticism is behind it, right?
Well, there's some crypto that is backed by like there's gold backed crypto. People have bought up a ton of gold and they use that as the value for
How many different types of crypto are there?
tons, thousands and thousands. And so like I think just like, currencies in the world, right? The US and the Chinese dollar, right? Like I think those are the mass currencies anyways, whether they're deemed that way or not. Like I feel like that's what everybody wants because of the value that it holds so they can transfer it into their currency and have that much more money, right? To be able to do whatever it is that they want to do. But I think I think the same when it comes to crypto, right? You've got Bitcoin, you've got Ethereum, you've got a couple other, cryptos, right, that are big players,
Right.
right? That are actual like backed stores of value. Um, and I think, and the reason why I think that there'll be a big push for crypto is because it's not regulated by a government.
So,
Yeah.
you know what crypto reminds me of?
What is it?
Europe, before the euro came to play.
Uh-huh.
Because every country had their own currency, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you lived in Europe, it was a bitch because you had to convert every time you went to another country.
Yeah.
So they brought in, the countries agreed and brought in the euro.
Yeah.
I think you can see the same thing with Bitcoin,
Yeah.
is that I think you'll see one Bitcoin, and not Bitcoin per se, but one cryptocurrency that I think is going to be common for everybody because it's too hard to track everything else. And they're going to have to put some really freaking fences around this stuff because North Korea last year made 4 million, was it 4 billion?
4 billion.
Off of stealing crypto. So until they get that squared away,
Yeah.
that's why I don't think crypto is going to be because it's too easy to lose it, like just disappear.
Right. Well, and I think there'd be a whole measure around security and stuff like that because you would have to. And I think the majority of these companies that are stealing crypto, I don't think it's stealing crypto as much as it's stealing people's money.
Right.
Saying, "Hey, invest in this." Like, "Hey, you want some Bitcoin? I got you. I'll hook you up. I'll get it into your wallet or whatever."
But see, you
and then
can't
take
trace the
money.
wallets. That's the
No.
problem.
No, yeah, I mean you can have the wallet ID. So if these people are educated enough to know their wallet ID and know what it is, then it can be tracked and they can see where that money went and what address
So
it was
let me give you an
transferred to
example.
and stuff like that. Yeah, yeah.
When I got scammed, right?
Yeah.
The big one. And I thanked Colorado Springs Police Department so much because
Yeah.
they got in touch with me before even the feds yet.
Yeah.
The feds still haven't.
Right.
But she could, and this is where the thievery started. This is where she goes, Jimmy, I followed your money
Uh-huh.
through 12 envelopes.
Mm-hmm.
And then I couldn't track it because it doesn't stay in one envelope.
Right.
It just bounces.
Right.
So there's no way to track it.
Right.
So if somebody were to go into the bank, let's say go online and steal, from somebody's account,
Yeah.
we can track the IP address. There's a lot of stuff that we can track that money.
Right.
Right. But in crypto, once it gets past a certain number of wallets, it's gone.
Yeah, that and then also like the whole idea around other countries' governance too.
Yes.
Like a lot of these guys are in Estonia.
Yeah.
And they will literally say, they'll use fake accounts, usually pretty ladies or something like that. And
Yeah.
they'll be like, "Hey, I can get you a lot of money really quick.
Let's
do
start
this."
trading.
Exactly. And they have the trade platform and they even show you and they get you while you're logged in. They're like, "Look, you made money. Let's do it again."
Yeah, see, that's
And
what
they
happened to me. I was on a fake platform.
Yeah. And they keep doing this. And so that happened to somebody that I know too. And they were like, yeah, unfortunately, because you sent the money to
Yep.
Estonia, there's nothing we can do about it.
Right.
And so, to your point, crypto security, if it does become a thing, like I feel like there would be have to be major security implications to educate people through on how to use this, and how to protect it.
Well, it's almost like it'd fall under international finance, right? Okay, we know how to send money to different countries. We can track it, right? We can verify this, verify that. Yeah, some people sneak through and they steal and lie, whatever. But until you get to that point where it's something that's consistent, that every country that signs up to trade with crypto between countries, every country has to have the same kind of regulations
Yeah.
and invest in the software and the
Right.
hardware to
Well,
protect.
and I think ultimately that's where it's going to come down to a one world currency. And then governments will regulate and have security branches for the people of their country for crypto. But it's got to get there first. And
One world currency.
I'm telling you, like I think we're headed there. I
think we are too.
I don't know when, and I don't know but I could see how the fight of the traditional dollar here, the war, would then push people to be like, oh, we need a different form of currency now.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, hey, peace treaty, we're going to crypto.
But you know what, though,
You know?
is that the U.S., Britain, France, all the major players, they don't want to lose their money type, but because it gives them power, you know. But I can see where that could come down the road.
Yeah. Sorry, whole side tangent, crypto.
Yeah, here we go again. Jump into a freaking rabbit hole. Sorry to interrupt you. I'm Jimmy Oliver with Indigo Mortgage. I'm a mortgage professional here in Colorado Springs. If you have any questions with regards to purchases or refinances, whatever that case may be, please click below and let's set up a call and let's talk about what you want to do. Back to the podcast.
Hey, but tell me something about what the heck is going on with mortgage right now. Like, what's going on with rates? And
we thought we'd be in the high to mid fives right now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because they had all these things that were going to knock it down. It's the war.
Yeah.
So the easiest way to know about, and I'm gonna do it because this works for me because it's very simple, is the 10-year bond, the yield on 10-year bond.
Yeah.
Interest rates tend to do that, right? And since the war started, the 10-year bond has gone up, right? So rates are going to follow it. And then you look at the market, we lost, I don't know how many points on Friday. So when we look at, it's not like rates are just about the 10-year bond. They're also about other economic factors. And when we have skyrocketing prices, as we said, because 20% of the oil is not coming through, everything depends on fossil fuels. And we're talking about transportation, right? If transportation goes up, prices are going to go up. Because again, the companies are not going to absorb hardly anything.
Right.
They're going to pass it.
Right.
And we saw, I think it was a Friday, we were at like a 6.3 or 6.4 average. That's horrible. A month ago, we were thinking we were going to be underneath the 6.
Yeah.
So what does this do to the average person? Well, it costs them more to own a home. Interest rate is higher, you pay more, which has to deal with their debt to income ratio. What they could afford, now they can't afford because it jumped a 0.5%. So the people that have money will still buy homes. The vast majority of those people will do what they want to do because they could be insulated a little bit better than middle class poor people to buy a home. So until we get things settled, it's going to be interesting to see how much higher oil is going to go. It's up to $1.08, $108 a barrel. I heard on Friday,
Yeah.
or 106.
Yeah.
So it's just not oil prices.
Mm-hmm.
It's you know, for heating your home,
Mm-hmm.
for all this other stuff that we use oil for. And thank God it's not the middle of December
Mm-hmm.
and we're in storms.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where people's oil prices will double and their heating bill will double.
Yeah.
So do I know it's going to happen? Hell no. But I think the question is, if we do get out of Iran, how long will it take for the oil people to bring down their prices?
Mm-hmm.
Because they can make a hell of a lot of reasons why they can't, right?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like normally it's pretty common for things to draw out for at least 6 months.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, we got to regulate, we got to get back to normal. We can't just like yank, and drop the price immediately and everything else goes down. Like, well, it'll destroy everything and da 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 da. And it's like, will it?
Yeah.
Like, will it really? But I think it is gonna take a period of time for everything to fluctuate back, just like with freaking anything, man.
So let's talk over the next 6 months,
Yeah,
starting today. That'll put us at the middle of September,
yeah, yeah. So summer will actually start in the fall.
or it doesn't start at all.
It skips, and we wait till spring
Right.
again. Yeah, and I feel like we were here just having this conversation 6 months ago,
Right.
and we were like, it's either gonna drop or it's gonna stabilize. Like,
But we didn't think it was going to go up like it has.
nah.
Nobody could predict the
Well, no one.
Iran situation.
Yeah, no one could have predicted war. Right?
So here's another fun fact to know:
Yeah.
the price of lumber. It's adding another $20,000 to $30,000 on the price of a home to build a home.
Mm.
Get this: new home builds are at their lowest, I think, since 2020.
Mm.
So it's not all about interest rates,
Right.
because when we look at it, because you've been in this seat before, everything is more than just one item, right?
Mm.
Right? It's about supply.
Mm-hmm.
It's about demand. It's about new builds. It's about interest rates. It's about inflation. It's about all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So when we look at why interest rates moved up, there's one popular reason, and we know it is, and that's Iran,
Mm-hmm.
right? But then prices also go up because of it's a ripple effect throughout our economy, throughout the world's economy.
Mm-hmm.
Like Europeans are pissed at us because they're saying our prices are going up and we didn't do a damn thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm hoping, but man, I tell you what, I just don't know. If we get out of Iran, let's say by the end of April,
Mm-hmm.
that's another 6 weeks, right? Then I think we can still recover, because I think they're going to push hard and knock the rates down.
Right.
To get things up and going.
Yeah.
But if we are occupying Iran,
Yeah.
like we did with...
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Let's flip that coin over. What happens if we do enter into a bigger, like, true war?
It's going to be, again, everything's going to go up.
Yeah.
Because we'll have less of our supplies,
right.
because it's going to another... oil is going to the troops.
Right.
More food's going to the troops, right?
Yeah.
As it should be. But we're going to be at home with higher prices.
Mm-hmm.
And that's war. War is also, whenever they look at war and you see how much money people make during a war, it's ridiculous. That doesn't always translate back to the economy.
Right.
So this next 6 months are going to be very key, not just for the next 6 months, but years.
Yeah.
Because if we can capture a market in May and we are rates down to 5.5,
yeah,
beautiful.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
because we're telling our clients, you know what? Here's the rate. Can you afford that now?
Mm-hmm.
Then on your seventh payment, we can go ahead and refinance you
Yeah.
to a cheaper rate.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say that now
Yeah.
because everybody says, well, the war's not going to last forever.
Mm-hmm. Well, and traditionally, right? Traditionally, mortgage rates, when there is war, they're up there in the 10s, 14s.
Well, you look at any economic or political
Right.
problem
Right.
because a 10-year bond yield is going
And back in the day, people clapped at those rates because there was no foreseeable going down. Like that's what it was. And so if it does get to that point and we do occupy, like you said, and it's gonna be probably a 2 year deal
if we're lucky.
if we're lucky. And I think it could start a whole nother thing, like personally,
So
right? But that's just opinion.
Here's one of the things too is that one of the messages I've heard is, well, the Iran people were protesting. We're going to give them a new government. See, that's bad just saying it because we cannot force a government on people that may not want that.
Right.
So you're still going to have blood in the streets.
Yeah.
But this time our boys are there
Yeah.
and young women are there.
Right.
Right. So it's like you got to get in and get the hell out and just be done with it. We can't have another Afghanistan. We can't have another Iraq. You know.
I mean, but inevitably, when you get involved in something, right? It's like buying a house. You buy a house and you think, oh, there's only a couple things that need to be fixed, and then you get in there and you're like, oh crap. I gotta
get an inspection done.
I gotta get this whole thing, flipped.
Right.
There's mold back there, and I didn't know it was there. I gotta remediate it. Stuff like that. And so I feel like it's the same thing whenever we go to try and fix one problem, it ends up being like 500 other problems.
Yeah.
And so it ends up, taking way longer than, and I don't think, I don't think the world can afford that right now.
No, they can't.
And that's why I'm saying, like, I think maybe it's a push to change the entire economy of the world.
So this is just another huge rabbit hole.
Yeah, I mean, it's all opinions. It's all opinions. That's what I'm saying.
Because until, and I'm going to get hate for this, but I don't care. Until you actually pay a living wage, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You can have this because we've done the math before, right?
Right.
$20 an hour. Hopefully, if you work 40 hours a week, that's $800.
Yeah, ain't cutting
times 4 is $3,200 before taxes.
Mm-hmm.
How is somebody with a family going to live off that when there's no decent subsidized housing in this country?
No.
Right? And there's a lot of people that work a couple of jobs. Well, when parents work a couple of jobs, what does that do to the kids? Right? Kids are on their own.
Right.
And I'm not being a freaking Democrat. I'm just looking at the freaking numbers. Right?
Yeah.
Those guys that have golden parachutes that can decide the wage they want to pay, they have nothing to worry about. Even if this goes to shit, they have nothing to worry about. Because all this stuff happens to the middle and lower class. And they are the backbone of this country, not the billionaires. Those people that work for them made them billionaires. I feel like I'm on the pulpit right now. But I think that's what people need to understand is that this country is based off hard work.
Yeah.
How many times have we had to start over?
Oh yeah. Reinvention.
And so you gotta take care. We're gonna go back to the big man. Take care of the sick. Take care of the children.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what we're supposed to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if we don't have enough empathy in our hearts to say we can do better for them.
Yeah.
Because if we do better for them, it blows right back to
Right.
us, right?
Well, and you gotta think too, like you talk about that and the issue, the reason why people can't get to that point is greed and selfishness.
Right. Absolutely.
Like you can't even get to a place of wanting to care for other people with a greedy heart or a
No,
selfish heart.
no, you don't.
And
Hell, that's the last thing you want to do.
and so all of these people that are up at the top, it's a greed game for them.
Right. And it begs the question. We're in another rabbit hole. That's fine. I love it.
Sorry, we're going.
Um, you know what? And you know what? And they have enough money
Yeah.
that their generations will not have to work again.
Right.
But they don't need all that money.
Mm-mm.
You know, I'm not saying why can't a company come in and say, you know what? Let's take King Soopers, Kroger, for instance. We're going to pay all our people $25 an hour, and we'll see how it goes. Maybe they'll profit sharing. You know how harder those people will work, right? Because they, you know what? They got my back. Cars too. You know, it used to be that if you worked on the line,
Yeah.
you could have a middle income, buy a house, buy a car, be with your family, because the dollar went so much farther. Nowadays, it doesn't. They say, well, God, look how much those people make on the line. Do the freaking math, right? If they make $40 an hour, right? That's $1,600 a week. 1,600 times 4 is 64. So now they're around $70,000. Do the freaking math.
Yeah.
You know, because this is our Achilles heel. And people don't realize it because people want to judge because you're poor. That means that you don't work, or you're young. You don't want to work hard. You know, all the crap that's been coming out of people's mouths that aren't true. But I believe that that's going to be the thing that if we want to get this country right, and it's not communism, it's not socialism, because the companies are still making profits, and the companies keep the profits. Communism, like in Russia, half of those guys' profits go to Putin, right? So communism right there. If I look at AT&T, do half their profits go to Trump? Wait a minute. God, I hope not. But they don't. They keep them, right? And they can go ahead and they can pay more.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It's wild. It's wild out there. And I think technology and advancement is only affecting that. You know, you talk about AI and you talk about what's going on.
Did I tell you my AI story?
No.
I'm on Facebook, and it's Warren Buffett.
Yeah.
The 7 things that mistakes poor people make, right?
Yeah.
So I'm listening to him.
Yeah.
I scroll down the bottom, it says, this is not Warren Buffett, it's an AI.
Yeah.
So could you imagine if he said, the sky is yellow? People would think that's Warren Buffett, and since Warren Buffett said it, it's true.
Yeah, they're going to go outside and look.
And Warren probably doesn't even know that's out there.
Right. Yeah.
See,
So many people, and that's with everything now.
Right.
And so, like, I mean, it's crazy that a person can rip somebody's face and voice and basically become them. It reminds me of like an Alien movie or a Skin Changer movie or something like that. Like that's what's actually happening in real life right now. Like Men in Black, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
And the aliens would turn into whatever they wanted to turn into, or the Matrix or something like that.
Or that movie that what's his name was in, Risky Business guy, Tom Cruise, where it was about a bunch of robots.
Yeah.
That were basically human.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, that's another scary thing.
It's crazy because, you know, you cannot believe everything you see. You really cannot. And it's almost forcing people to not judge a book by its cover, which, to your point earlier, is a good thing.
Right.
But it's also like you have to second guess everything now.
No, right. You just have to
And-
do your own due diligence
Yeah,
more.
it's more of a filtration system that you gotta take in information and like it's another step, right?
Yeah.
So that's just something that I think everybody's gonna, because there is good to AI. It
Yes.
is way more efficient, way more effective in a lot of different ways. But there's also the flip side of that, and it's like, would you just stop it?
Yeah.
You know, can I just unplug it now?
Yeah. Not
You know?
everything needs to be AI.
Right, right. I don't want to talk to AI. I just don't.
Well, I think we solved the world's problems.
Oh, did we? Okay.
I don't know.
Good.
I don't know for sure.
Well, yeah, thanks, Jimmy, for having me on and being able to, you know, help clear up some stuff when it comes to the market and war and stuff like that. And yeah, I look forward to.
Yeah, you know, like I said, a
more.
lot of this stuff is my opinion.
Yeah.
So let the haters hate.
Yeah,
You know,
they're gonna.
they're going to. They're
Yeah.
looking for somebody to hate.
At
so,
least you're out here talking about it,
yeah.
having a conversation about it.
And
Like
it's not a, it wasn't a political slant.
Mm-mm.
It's where we are right now politically.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Because
Yeah.
like I said, every president has been bombarded by the other party for something.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So this is going back and forth.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, the bigger question, and we're not going down another rabbit hole.
We'll save that for next time.
Yeah, exactly.